Hello, Internetians. This is Chu bringing you NPL Week 5 Miners Rapid Fire Recap. That was my Ultra Player impersonation. I think one of my best impersonations so far. Maybe. I still think my Danza one was probably the best. Anyway, welcome to NPL Week 5. Enjoy your Rapid Fire Recap. Yeah. In our first game between the Indiana Hyperspaces and the Liverpool, BM really struggled with a lot of Osh's moms. Letting his Mew go down pretty early, let Osh get into that mindset of, Hallu's just going to win me this game, let me just start chipping, throwing things down. Like Hippo, like Metagross, I think. Metagross? Maybe? I don't remember if I don't know how much Metagross takes for +2. But overall, Osh did get his Halluja in pretty nicely, setting it up on Tangrowth and 5-0 in BM. In our game between the Inglewood Infernapes and the San Antonio Sparks, Will used a lot of his mons really effectively. DD Zardex was very, very nice this game, as Clyde didn't really have much of a switch into that thing. He also used the very nice Sap Sipper trapping Azu to get rid of Celebi, which is very nice. And Will used the combination of Metronome Mamoswine with Trick Scarf Mesprit to really seal this game for him in a nice 3-0 fashion. I definitely like the Metronome Mamoswine. I definitely think Will played this game very, very nicely. Good game to have both of them. In our game between the Columbus Basco and Blue Stripe Jackets and the New Brand Rockruff, Andrew really started off on the back foot. He wasn't really able to deal with Victini, basically sacking off 2 members immediately to it. And Thunders died relatively early as well. So Andrew having to play 2 months behind really put him on the back foot, and considering he basically sacked off his Alati to a Mudtail of all things under gravity, it was really hard for him to pull this back. Although the nice Mach Punch Infernape taking out the Hoopa, and if Andrew clicked Earthquake on that Victini, I think he would have won this game, because Lando barely missed out on that kill with Vino, and Infernape could have come in and kill. In our game between the New York Moose and the Pittsburgh Empoleons, the game was full of just sacking logic. Heracross would come in, force Bash to choose a sack, then Darmanitan would come in and force Lux to choose a sack, and that's really how the game went. Bash did bring both Scyther and Scizor, which I don't know what they did with the ruling, but that was a thing. Vertical evolution clause, you can't have both. But what ended up winning Bash was the nice Earthquake Scarf Darmanitan. Nice and standard. In our game between the Salem Geyser Volcanions and the Ottawa Garchomps, Pesky City's double Scarfers really put in a lot of work. Unfortunately, Horace did miss a head smash with his +1 Tyrantrum, but it would have been outsped by Scarf Karen Black and Revenge Killed. Although it does really suck that Horace did have to lose some differential, but that's just how the game went. In our game between the West Virginia Miniors and the St. Louis Blues, Mimikyu, Rotom-P, and Swampert really carried Ultra Player to this victory, because Mimikyu would come in and claim a kill, and then he'd go into Rotom-P on the Breloom trying to revenge kill, and then when Zygarde came in, he just went pert and killed it with Ice Beam. So I definitely think Ultra Player played this game very nicely, but both players played insanely well, and I really love this game. In our game between the North Carolina Tyranitar Heels and the Bolin Bovines, Parker really struggled with Slacking's team. You know, his Sandcore plus Mega Medicham really broke through his team really quite well, and not a lot of his mons were able to do much of this game. Mega Gardevoir did dodge a Hurricane, so it ended up being a 5-0 instead of a 6-0 possibly. But the Sandcore plus Mega Medicham just proved to be too much for Parker, and this game ended up in a 5-0 for Dr. Slacking. In our last game between the Texas Rain Dance and the Aussie Kangaskhan's, the scrappy early game really struggled with the hazards and the offense of Mega Scizor and Nidoqueen just really struggled dealing with all that. But this game was very back and forth with all of the, going into Zapdos, going into Uxie on the Nidoqueen, blah blah blah. Although the skill swap Manaphy was Flames, the Power Up Solar Beam Volcanion to beat the skill swap Manaphy was Flames. The CM Flocious was a very nice bring, being able to set up on Nidoqueen and deal a lot of damage, getting rid of Swellow, which was also very, very nice. What ended up losing Scrappy this game, in my opinion, I don't know if it was a roll, but Scrappy did miss the Fire Blast, and I believe he would have won the game if it weren't for that. Because I think Mega Scissor could have still done the work. I don't know. That's theory modding, and I'm not good at theory modding. So, alright, and to wrap up your rapid fire recap for week number 5, the schedule for week number 6 consists of the Indiana Hyperspacers versus the Pittsburgh Empoleons, the Inglewood Infernapes versus our new coach, Tone, the coach of the Miami Malamarlins, replacing BM in the Liverpool. The Columbus Basculin Blue Stripe Jackets versus the San Antonio Sparse, the New York Moose versus the New Britain Rockruff, the Salem Kaiser Volcanions versus the Aussie Kangaskons, the West Virginia Miniors versus the Ottawa Garchomp, the North Carolina Tyranitar Heels versus the St. Louis Blues, and last but not least, the Texas Rain Dance versus the Boland Bovines. Hope you all enjoyed your rapid fire recap, and I'll see you guys next week.